and welcome. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition's Curse of the Crimson Throne. Now, Curse of the Crimson Throne is normally a 1st edition module from Paizo, but we're converting it to 2nd edition because that's what we're doing for fun. Joining me today are my wonderful Patreons. Look, they're all here. Yay! Welcome in, guys. Patrick and Quinn, I hope your holiday was absolutely spectacular. It is so good to see you back here and ready to play with us again.
Thanks so much. It's good to be back.
Yay!
Yes, it is.
And of course, we have the other members of our incredible cast here. We have, of course, playing Holly. We have our dear friend Malakisa, Dante being played by our friend Rykon, Agnes by Laura Bones, and of course, playing Quinn and Patrick is, of course, our dear friends Ire, Janasi, and Twiff. So, yes, so good to see you guys all. Now, I am speeding through the intros because we're a little bit behind. And I have no excuse. It's just, it's the first week after the school holidays. Usually I've had my boot kicked by kids during school programs, so I woke up super late. So, diving straight into today's session, let's give a quick thanks to our sponsors. Hey guys, look, sponsors, they're in the chat. Go check them out. They're all really cool. Hero Forge for our wonderful artworks you can see on screen. Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice. And Sirenscape, who I've forgotten to renew my subscription, so we don't actually have playing in the background. But that's just, I did my sure. Like I said, school holidays. Yay! And then, of course, guys, this is kind of like a mini side quest before we start the next book, because, of course, Patrick and Quinn were on vacation for a little bit, and I didn't want to start the next chapter of the big adventure. So all of this side quest stuff is just kind of like a amuse bouche before we kick into this chapter. So I'm very excited to hopefully get through this and not have everyone die during the side quest. That'd be weird. Lastly, guys, we want to thank you guys for being here. There are a number of ways you can interact with the chat as we play. Because we like having you guys interact with the game. So starting with $5. For $5, you can grant one of these red markers or purple markers. They are hero points and jinx points. Now, there is a new reward coming. It's not there yet, but it will be coming. For the $10 mark, where we have plot twists. So plot twists we draw from a deck of plot twists. We pick 3 of them. You choose one of them. And that plot twist then becomes into fruition. However, a new option we're going to be adding, we'll add it now as well. So, in addition to plot twists, we now have hero cards. There you go, look at that, how pretty is that? Hero cards work and function very much like hero points, but also grant a unique power to that player. So, for example, Protect the Innocent. You not only get a hero point, but you also get the ability play when an incapacitated ally or non-combatant NPC takes damage within sight. You prevent all the damage done to that person and take half the damage they would have taken in their stead. So, for example, it just gives our players a few little extra options to use their hero points with. But yeah, so that'll be for the $10 reward. For $20, we have the coveted golden natural 20, which of course can be used, as a nat 20. And then for $50, we can grant a hero of your choice a magic item or make a challenging encounter even more difficult. Lastly, for the grand old $100, the big old secret menu item. The secret menu item for today is going to be quite simple, I think. The group is going to make an ally of a very, very noteworthy faction or organization. And that will allow them, not a free pass, but that'll allow them a much easier time with their current predicament in regards to the rising of the 7 deadly sins. So there you go. So that's the thing. I won't share too much on it because I don't want to spoil stuff, but that is what is on the cards. All right. Without any further ado, our adventure continues in a scene of blood deep beneath the castle known as Castle Volshnik, where our heroes who had broken into prison in order to try and speak to and convert one of the Red Mantis assassins who had evidently been caught by the guards. Well, yeah, that kind of went badly, and our heroes were captured by Sax, the guard, and his night patrol. As they were captured, they managed to talk to Cressida Croft, the field marshal of the guards, without sharing too much information for fear of breaking the contract that Holly is under. They have been told to spend the night in the drunk tank while thoughts are being considered about their deputyship, their interaction here, whole bunches of stuff. But over the night, one of the guards has been attacked. Unknown to them, crawling beneath the tiled floors of the prison, a rat that had been specially trained emerged from deep below the grout, jumped up, and had torn the throat out of one of the guards. Acting quickly, Dante offered to help and was allowed to do so and try to save this poor man. We ended with a roll on our heal check or our medicine check to see if that had actually worked. And this is where we return. So, Dante. Blood pours from this poor individual's throat. The wound is deep and bleeds heavily. As the other guard comes back with what looks to be the tools that you'd seen in the previous room, you lay them out in front of you and begin your work, begin treatment. It is difficult work. You begin to sweat. You begin to basically just panic. Your hands soaked in blood. The watching of the other guards who are waiting, bated breath, to see if you can manage to save this individual. As this happens, you feel the body get still and cold. But then suddenly, he starts to breathe. The airways cleared despite the wounds. You just need to finish off the stitches, and it should be done. But that is when there is more movement. You see some of the tiles start to shift and shake as another rat emerges and begins to beeline towards you. I'm going to have everyone in this group roll initiative. So that is Holly, Agnes, and Dante. You guys are here. Padraig and Quinn, you guys aren't here just yet. But on our initiatives, we have Agnes, then Holly, then Dante first. All right. So Agnes, what do you do as you see this rat crawling up?
Agnes would like to attempt to use some of her new attack undead powers that she got and try to cast one of her new spells. She would like to try. I mean, she's still testing them out. She's not too sure like what all of them do really, what she's been given. So she's going to try and like wrest control of it, kind of thing. So she's going to cast Bind Undead on it.
Casting Bind Undead on it. Interesting. Okay. As you do so, the rat seems to stop in its tracks.
And it gains the minion trait. If you are not allowed to use any hostile actions against the target, the spell ends. I don't know what the minion trait does. Does that mean I can like...
That means you can command it.
Alright, so then Agnes will just go, now sit!
It does so. As you've called this out, at this point the other guards do notice the rat and will swiftly make their...
Oh, what?
Then it looks like they're going to make...
Whatever you do, don't touch it. I've got it under control, but if you touch it, it'll go off again. Please,
They do not. They sort of stop very, very shocked and go, and freeze.
I don't know how many more there is.
All right. It's only one. But you have stopped it.
For now.
For now. Holly.
The rat's not moving?
It is not moving.
Okay. I am going to heal
Agnes,
guard.
Agnes had told it to stop or sit, and it sat.
Yep. I am going to heal the guard while we're waiting.
The guard with his wound now treated, casting a heal. Now you are still in the jail cell, so you will need to do it at range.
Yep, I got 30 feet. He's within 30 feet, right?
Yep. Not a worry. You.
And he gets more out of it.
Yep, you begin to heal, and the wounds stitch and mend, sealing up and healing the god. Thanks to the efforts of the two of you, he will survive this day. Now, real quick, I just want to say a massive thank you to Schooly Eye, who has given 2 Jinx points for me, Nat 20 for Holly, Nat 20 for Quinn, Hero point for Holly, Hero point for Quinn, 2 Hero points for Dante, and the plot twist, Moment of Glory. Now, don't worry, this isn't the Moment of Glory. Ooh. We will use it a little later, but but we do have it nonetheless. All right, so as it begins to quiet down, the guards say, "Is he going to be okay?"
Yes, he'll be able to pull through.
Thank goodness. But it seems like there's trepidation or hesitation about returning you to your cell. Look, we can't let you go because, well, it would look bad on us in the morning. But it seems as though you and Cressida have a kind of understanding of things, and if you can't tell Cressida what's going on, then do not make me regret my decision. He will ask what you want to do with the rat first.
I think we should find out if there's more of them.
I think we've got a little bit of time, but I mean, can you kill it again? I don't really know. It's already, well, I'm a bit new to this whole necromancy thing. I know.
Well, Sax is gonna take out his sword and try to kill it. I mean, I feel like that's the just and he kills it in one hit. Just it's a coup de grace.
Chop the head off as well, like the head off. Just.
Oh yes, look, I'm not a big fan of defiling corpses, but I'm pretty sure it's dead. Dead. At this point, Sax will open the gate to your cell, and he tells you to follow, but be quiet. He leads you up towards the jail cell that Holly had expressed interest to.
By the way, we can't see the map.
Oh, very well. There you are. All right. He says, you have 5 minutes. Keeping in mind your weapons and stuff have been taken at this point, and they're on that table nearby, but he will not allow you to collect any. He even tells you to take off your shoes before you enter.
Okay, I do everything he wants me to.
All right. Doing so, you then enter this lone, dreary cell. As you do so, there is a single individual chained up in this room. He looks to be an Aasimar of some kind with pale white hair. His hands kind of calloused, very, very worn. You can kind of tell this person is a person who does a lot of trade work, kind of like, you know how you can see like there's kind of like that thickened palms and stuff like that. Not entirely sure what the work is, but you can tell that about them. By all appearances, they do not appear to be any real danger, but based on how they're housing him, you could almost swear like this dude was like, this guy must have killed like a ton of people, because he's got manacles on his legs and his arms. They're attached to they're each attached to different walls. He's got nothing in the room near him, and you can just see that surrounding the walls themselves is kind of like what looks to be like kind of silenced runes. So you can't hear him yelling and screaming and talking outside of the walls. As you enter, he looks up and kind of not sizes you up, but like kind of just acknowledges each of you, takes down details. All right.
Can Sax still hear us?
He's just outside the door. But if you enter, he will not be able to hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go in.
All right.
Where I can't see him in the cell.
No.
Is he
just putting him in now?
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Okay. I'm gonna move a little bit out so Raikon and Agnes can come in if they want.
Agnes, Dante. Yep.
Okay, and then so he's in trouble with Asmodeus for breaking a contract, right? Or they just want me to get him to sign a contract? Is that? I think you're muted, Dag.
They want you to get him to sign a contract or kill him.
But I don't know why. I don't have any.
Correct.
Well, I believe you might know why we're here, as I'm a cleric of Asmodeus.
He looks you up and down, and he says, "You have me at a bit of a loss here. I do not know any of the clerics of Asmodeus."
My name is Holly, and I have something that you should look over and you should sign.
You'll have to forgive me. I cannot reach for things while I am trapped here.
I'm gonna walk a little bit closer, but not quite in scary grabby range. I don't know. It's hard to move that on the map.
Sure. You step forward
and
cautiously.
Yeah.
Your arm outstretched with the contract. You hear the chains rattle as he leans forward.
I'm going to hold it in a way that he can read it so he knows what's on the contract.
He looks at it and says, So you're suggesting that the Temple of Asmodeus wish to serve as my lawyers during my court case?
Right now, I'm just the messenger, but
you're not
I
a
need
cleric
to do
of
this.
Asmodeus?
I am a cleric of Asmodeus, and this is my task. You need us to represent you.
And why would I need you to represent me? They have no evidence on me. There's no claim for a bounty on me. I am squeaky clean as far as the law is concerned. They have yet to retrieve a body of which they accuse me of murdering. So what purpose would I have to bow or pay any kind of reverence to, well, Asmodeus and their lawyers?
Because I know these people, and I guarantee you they're going to get the evidence. And it also doesn't really hurt that Jolenstar is also here, and she just tried to kill a guard with a zombie rat. You're muted again, Dag.
He ponders things over and says, I'm not sure who this Jolenstar is. But if she's a danger to other people, then maybe you should be representing her instead.
So it's just coincidence that you're a Red Mantis assassin and Jolenstar is here and the Red Mantis want her?
I'm being accused of being a Red Mantis assassin. But do you have any proof of it? Does anyone yet?
I am not a guard. I'm just a representative. So that part is out of my purview and not important to this conversation.
Well, it sounds like the people who are trying to represent me are, well, not representing me. No, I don't think I'll be signing on for the Temple of Asmodeus.
I warn you, if you don't sign on with the Temple of Asmodeus, it's going to be really problematic for you in the short term.
Make a intimidation check. Oh, and as we do this, All Things Fantasy has just redeemed a group inspiration for everyone. Yay!
Probably going to be needing it.
Yeah, the tiny fairy is not terribly intimidating. I think I'm going to use my nat 20 on that. If I use the nat 20, will it work? Is the other question.
So that is a 24. Let's see. What level are you guys?
7.
I don't think that will. Hold on, let me just check. I don't think it'll fail, like critical fail, but let's have a look. Okay, let's see. As long as it doesn't critically fail, you'll be fine. So DC's, nope. Difficulty, okay, here we go. So at this level, your difficulty will be a 23. So yes, a natural 20 will be fine and will land a critical hit.
Hey.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So with a natural 20, as you say this, he considers your words and he recognizes a threat on his life when he hears one. And he says, fine. But there is something I'd like to change in the contract.
What do you want to change?
It says here that the lawyer will be chosen from the Temple of Asmodeus. I don't want any lawyer. I would like you to represent me.
That's a terrible idea, and that should not. No, you want somebody better than me.
But it is my stipulation.
Do I have any kind of knowledge about what would happen if I make the adjustment on the contract?
Well, as long as it doesn't break the reading all the rules of the contract itself, then it should be fine. If if his request is for that as an addendum, looking at the contract, you wouldn't be able to make the addendum, but you would be able to say something like, I will do what I can to take up that role. And if you do so, like, it's a verbal agreement, but not a contractual one. So yeah, that would come down to up to you. You would need to talk to the Temple of Asmodeus, but you could make you could either lie to him or you could make him believe it.
Okay, if that is what you really wish, then I will serve as your attorney.
He says, "How would you have me sign this?"
Did they just take the weapons? Do they have our other stuff? Because I have
all
a pen.
of your stuff.
Okay.
They didn't even let you bring shoes into this guy.
You could have him bite his lip. Sign with its blood that way.
Yeah, are his hands free enough to sign in blood?
Yes, but he wouldn't be able to sign in his own blood in that way. You would need to cut his finger, or you would need to put blood on his hand. His arms are basically stretched outwards.
Would they have taken Agnes's earrings?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so Agnes will just unpin one of her earrings and just stab the dude in the finger with it, and then go, there.
All right, make a perception check, Agnes.
Oh.
Oh, duh.
Agnes is super wary of this guy anyway.
Mm.
The Asmodeans don't just want nobody. He has to be a somebody. They wouldn't want a nobody.
Nice.
Oh, she's super wary of this guy.
Super wary, just on top of it. All right. As you watch him, nothing out of the ordinary seems to happen. You prick his finger, you put your earring back on. And you watch as he signs his name in the blood. And with that, your business concludes. You leave the cell, and this individual continues to kind of observe and watch. And as you step out, Sax kind of looks you guys up and down, and then hurries you back into the drunk tank to wait the rest of the night out.
Will he let me ask questions, or?
I'll say no, only because I want to get Patrick and Quinn into the game.
Okay.
So, in the morning, Quinn and Patrick, you are in Zilara's house, where you have been, just kind of doing your things over the last day, just to kind of get things in order after the quarantine and after the plague which gripped the city. You wake up.
Busy with the apothecary shop, getting that in order.
The apothecary is where the others are, which is where we'll come to, because...
Okay.
Here we go. All right. You head out into the streets. You're feeling much better. People are super happy. You can see everyone saying good morning and super pleased. Person walks past you. It's a little girl. She has a doll. She kind of smiles up at you.
Everyone breaks out into a musical number.
Yep, that's it.
La 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 la.
Yep, that's basically it. You can see that the guards are kind of doing their best to kind of fix some of the damage that has been done during the riots and the stuff. And you can see that even the grave digger has a big smile on their face as they push a big pile of corpses in a wagon past everyone. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Now, as you reach the apothecary, you're met with a scene that you weren't quite expecting. Tables upturned, blood on the floor, a dead body that you've never seen before, lying skewered on the ground. A great quantity of what looks to be pixie blood towards one of the walls, and you see the two guards. This is what are their names again? This is Rupert and Giles, who are sitting there having a smoko out the front.
Rupert, Giles, what happened here?
Well, that's a bit of a story, innit? You see, we were out, supposed to be doing some work, after, we've been trying to keep the apothecary running while everyone's been in quarantine. And, turns out, of course, there was a big commotion while we were busy, Yeah, we couldn't be everywhere at once, and, what happened was, they just, there was a pwah, and a cha, and a shoom, it was insane. And the next thing I know, Holly, it's just there, and she's being held up by this demon-like thing, and then, and her arms off, and I just went, you know what, we should take our smoko, and we've been just here ever since.
Wait. The demon ripped Holly's arm off?
No. Just her hand.
What?
Well, strictly speaking, it was a devil, not a demon. Demons actually come from the abyss, and you'd use a demologist in order to try and exorcise them. Demologist? What do you mean, demologist? Yeah, a demologist,
Right.
someone who works, deals and works with demons. I thought they were diabolus. No, they work with devils. That's what you really want, yeah.
So, and I'm sorry to interrupt,
Oh,
but
yeah.
where is everyone now?
Well, word has that they should be in there, but they're not. And if I had to guess, I would say that they've likely broken into the sewers somewhere.
Why would you guess that they'd likely broken into the sewers somewhere?
Well, it's because I saw them, innit? I was at the back, just having the smoko, and then they come out, go into the alchemist lab, and, you hear the sounds of, like, a big grate opening up, and I was just like, I didn't see nothing, because they don't pay me to see nothing. And yeah, that was that, innit?
As a guard, don't we explicitly pay you to see?
Well, that's true, but I was on smoko. Yeah, smoko. It's the like shit. Yeah. We can't see stuff on smoko.
I think they died.
Oh yes, Ira died.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Patrick's just getting a headache from this whole thing. So they broke into the sewer. You don't know where they are now, and you guys have just been having a smoke break since sometime last night.
Well, yeah.
Do we know who the dead body in the middle of our shop is, and can we get that cleaned up?
Well, I thought it was in quarantine, innit? I mean, we can.
Yeah. Part of getting ready to get out of quarantine is going to be getting the shop in order and getting rid of dead bodies and the blood all over the place. When we're ready to open for business again, we kind of want that to not be there.
Yeah, all right.
Did they say anything or leave a note or any indication of what they were breaking into the sewers for and where they might possibly be now?
Nah, they didn't say nothing. But that bald fella did. He's I don't know, wore lots of robes, big dude, red, kind of golds and stuff. Big medallion of Asmodeus, on their chest and what have you. Oh,
the leader of the Temple of Asmodeus?
Yeah, that's
that
that.
guy.
That's the guy. Yeah. No, he came through and spoke to them after the big winged thing, sort of left. Yeah, he was saying something about about Castle Volshnik, about prison, Holly's eternal soul, few things here and there.
All right. Well, I guess we can maybe go and ask him where they might be. Oh, we'll head over there and just make sure no one else gets murdered in the shop, please.
Oh, well, I'm sure we can do that as well. But if you had to ask me, I reckon there's a lot of stuff going down at Castle Volshnik at the moment. Yeah, lots of strange going-ons and what have you. I heard recently they managed to catch a Red Mantis assassin. Yeah, no, I heard that too.
Right. Well, we'll keep that in mind. Thanks, guys. You've been helpful as always. You're doing a bang-up job. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, we'll get the shop cleaned up by the time you get back.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, they go back to their scrub-dub-dubbering as you make your way. Now, heading to the Temple of Asmodeus is not difficult. They will it is late at night, and they will tell you that the Hierophant is out and about. They haven't seen Holly. Holly refused the summons, and the Hierophant was upset at that. Which eventually leads you to heading to Castle Volshek, which by the time you do so, it'll be coming up to morning as you arrive. At this point, we're going to fast forward a little bit as you are brought down the stairs to see Holly, Agnes, and Dante in jail.
Hi, guys.
Well. Would you take a look at the reprobates? If I had to guess which one of us lot would end up in the drunk tank, my money wouldn't have been on you three.
Look, it's a really long story, okay?
Well, based on the blood in the body, I should hope so.
The guy.
One day we left you alone. One day.
So is there some sort of bail or something? How do we get you out?
No, we're waiting on Cressida.
Cressida does not come down, but a guard does come down on their behalf. This is the other guard, not the guard that had his throat cut out, but the one that you had saved. As he comes down, he says, the field marshal says that you're free to go, but your deputy status is hereby revoked. But she is thankful for your services and the like to the city and the crown, and hopes that you'll continue to be upstanding citizens and stay out of trouble. And
So deputy status for all of us, or just these three?
Or just them three. Well, I mean, that was until you both mentioned something about a dead body. No, I'm joking. He doesn't say that. No, he just says yes. No, it's just for these three, and he'll open up the gate and allow you guys to take your friends away.
Shaking my head. All right, let's get out of here before we get the details of what went on, so there's no guards around to listen in on what actually happened.
All right. You make your way back into the streets of Korvosa. Now, right now, you guys are in this area here. Let's just share the map again with you guys. Yeah, so you guys are over here in G10, Castle of Volchek. That's where you guys walk out into the fresh and open air, having successfully managed to complete your task.
I think it's time. Wait, are we still infectious or are we not infectious anymore?
You are not infectious.
Okay, I think we need to deliver the contract immediately, so let's head back to the temple.
All right, we'll get the details of the story, I guess, on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which they will fill you in on all of the details as you make your way to the Temple of Asmodeus, which, if memory serves, should be right here, where I drew all these marks. Because I forgot where it was. There. Temple of Asmodeus. Boom. All right. You arrive at the temple. The large, sprawling, almost cathedral stands in front of you. Big, dark brick walls, huge, glowing red stained glass windows. And out the front, you see a number of paladins wearing dark armor. They see you approach, and with Holly in tow, they just simply allow you to pass. And as you go in, you can see that a number of the clergy are doing their things. They are tending to the candles that are being lit. You can hear the sounds of whipping and flagellation coming from nearby. And sure enough, you see, poised at the top of the dais, a very familiar face. And that is... where is he? Nope, I've lost him.
He's somewhere in the long list.
He is somewhere in the long list. Nope. I will find you. There he is. Boom. All right, you find the Hierophant.
Okay, so like really, really good news. We're not infectious anymore, so nobody can get sick from us. So I can do anything you need me to do. And we got down there and we got the contract signed. So here's the contract, and I hand him over the contract. And he also said he wanted me to be his lawyer, and I think that's a terrible idea. And I said I would do it, but that's not actually in the contract. So I think that's a terrible idea.
He reaches down and takes the contract and reads it over. You've done exemplary work, my dear. You've proven yourself, at least in some part. Wait, hang on, I've got his voice wrong. What have I done? Hold on. Hello, darling. Yes, that's it, right here. That's the voice. Well, it seems, darling, that you've done quite well for yourself. You've signed you've had the contract signed, and in blood, no less. As for who he wishes to represent himself, well, of course, if you are a member of the church, then you are obliged to follow in the acts of the church, and this is one of your clerical duties. I see no problem in having you represent him. After all...
What did he do?
What did he do? Or do you mean, what is he accused of doing?
I think both, probably.
What he did is inconsequential. Because you are to prove that what he did, well, was for the good of many. He was the one who had orchestrated a number of deaths in the noble district. Carwyn Manor was the only one besieged by the necromancer Jolinstar. But others were wiped clean by blades. man that you represent is supposed to have been responsible. A killer. A murderer. Of 3 entire families in the noble district.
Okay,
Agnes really starts paying attention now, and she just goes, "Which 3 families?"
The 3 families which were supposedly expunged were... Let me have a look here. 1 second.
Gotta find the notes.
Gotta find my notes.
This was that one player that asks for names.
Yeah, it's that one player. Okay, hold on.
I suppose their names technically are irrelevant. It's who they are, really. That's
Okay, so okay. So there is a house belonging to Ornelos, a house belonging to Larong, a house belonging to the Jegere, and a house belonging to the Zenderholm. Now, the houses haven't been wiped out, but they have been attacked. The ones that have been, well, expunged are House Eridin, or Endrin, House Jalento, House Carowin, which you know, but that was the Necromancer. And lastly, there is only one survivor from the House of Croft.
Oh my.
right. Is
May
there?
I-
Can I do a society roll to see what, like, if there's any connection, like, to those families, like?
Besides Cressida.
Yeah.
I was going to
Were they all
ask that
known
as
to
well.
be? Were they all known to be anti-royalist or royalist, or like what did they have any, like, what connected
Yeah.
them?
And Padraig was also I was gonna say, does Padraig know anything about any of these, or know any of these people who have been killed?
You would definitely have known
his
some of
past
these people who had
life.
been killed. They are all quite noteworthy members of the noble cast. Now the first 5, these are the ones who had some members get killed, but not enough to like really jeopardize them. Ornelos, Larong, Jegere, and Zenderholm. There are 5 great houses. One that was spared was House Arcona. They're the ones who sort of managed to get through unscathed. They're probably the most noteworthy. They're like kind of the old blood. They are the ones who kind of founded Korvosa. They were the earliest people who were here, that kind of thing. That's kind of what connected those guys. As for House Endrin, Endrin were loyalists and sworn to House Jegere. And they were also the ones who were the heirs to the Sable Company Marines, the guys who rode on the hippogriffs. House Farima were the international house, and were also a kind of like a paladin sort of family, so very, very highly decorated paladins. House Croft was also a military house, so again, soldiers, guards, stuff like that.
Old school honorable loyalists.
Yep. So them's the ones what been attacked.
And the ones who suffered less or weren't attacked are all more loyal to the current queen.
You'd have to hazard that as a guess, but it'd be a fair guess.
And the last thing, although he He's disavowed his former life. Is there anyone that Patrick would have known personally on a friendly basis, or any members of his family that were involved in this?
I would say that your family. You know what? Roll me a percentage. Let's find out how involved your family were in this expunging.
All right, so percentage, that is
5%. Okay. So we're gonna go with that your family are very deep in with the House Arcona and were spared completely.
okay.
But you did know a lot of the other houses, and maybe were friends growing up, like with some of the young, well, now about your age, members of those families and those clans, and you do recognize more than a few of these names.
All right. Patrick's just gonna sit. Actually, he's gonna get up and he's gonna walk out of the temple while he's processing this.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to let you know when the court date is assigned, Holly. Until then, you have successfully completed your contract. Well done.
Thanks.
Now let me remind you that if you refuse another summons or fail in your duties, then the power that has been given can quickly and swiftly be taken. Did you know that?
No, I won't do that ever again. And I swear that was just extenuating circumstances. It'll never happen again.
Yes. The road to hell is often paved with good intentions, isn't it?
Oh, I was muted. Yes, I definitely learned that.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to offer a prayer to Asmodeus on the way out. And he kind of turns and goes back to his reading of the scriptures.
I will do I even know how to do that?
How to pray? I mean,
yeah. Like, is there anything special that you do here for praying? And would Holly know it? Or
no, just offer a prayer. Like the usual kind of prayery goodness.
I'll do it.
All right. You take a moment to go and pray at the altar to Asmodeus, and eventually all of you head back out into the streets where you see Patrick. Now, Patrick, what have you been doing while you're outside?
Pacing, and Patrick is not happy about this. He's gonna kind of glare at Holly when she comes out, and just look at her. What have you gotten us into, Holly? And how do we get out of this?
I have no idea. And I also don't know how to get out of it. But if you have an idea to get out of it, I would love to hear it.
I don't have one right off the top of my head, but and he's just the temple is pulsing. I know you think you did the right thing, but we're now working for the being behind like all evil in the world.
Oh no, we aren't, dearie. She is.
We're not, but we're tied up in this, and we just had this.
She is.
She is. She is. But we're getting pulled into what's going on because we don't want her soul to be forfeited, I guess. But we just had to go pick you guys up from jail because Satan wanted you to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I don't really understand that either, but it was just really complicated. And my hand hurts, but that's weird because I don't have a hand anymore. And it's just been a very bad night, okay?
I mean, I can make you a hand. He holds up his fingers. I had to do it for myself. That's honestly the least of our worries. The amount of times you've been eaten by someone, I'm surprised you haven't lost more limbs.
No, I mean, this is the least of our worries. As
Thinking
furious as I am with our wee friend here. Okay, first a plague, then you kill off the old loyalists. Right, so somebody wants this city. But the queen was already the queen. Why would she do it? Who else wants it?
Unless she was being threatened somehow.
Or used. Either. It seems like the Temple of Asmodeus is on the side of the people who are trying to take control.
Oh, I think they're just on their own side, if I have to be honest with you.
Well, if the queen had objectors among those families and those that remain are loyal to her, then it seems Asmodeus, the Temple of Asmodeus, might also be casting its political lot along with hers. Or perhaps it just wants to foment chaos.
Well, I'm remembering back to that ambassador that was trying to buy up all the land.
Oh, that's right.
And the empire or whatever it was that it was from, I'm blanking on the names.
Cheliax.
But Cheliax, right. So
wait, there's an empire involved.
Yeah, but Cheliax are the leaders of Cheliax are worshippers of Asmodeus, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, before we dive too deep down that rabbit hole, don't forget that this is technically a Chelish city. It's just so far north that it kind of has its own independence. So it is still a Chelish city. The noble that came there was trying to take ground so that they could personally have more. Not necessarily yeah, like I said, Cheliax already owns this place.
Right, but it's mostly autonomous, and if they're trying to solidify their control, I don't know. It's a thought.
Or somebody else, but
I'll be honest. I tried to stay out of politics.
I don't know that we have enough puzzle pieces yet to see enough of the picture here.
I think we don't have anywhere near enough puzzle pieces.
Returning to Holly's little issue and just thinking outside of the box. If one were to die, would that nullify the contract?
Do you want to kill me now, Quinn?
Well, not permanently. I mean, we could bring you back in some way, right?
I kind of don't want to die. Surely there's a better way.
I understand that. I guess I get that.
As you talk to Holly, a fiery pain begins to shoot across your wrists and up your arm.
Okay, that's not good. What does this mean? Can we talk to the imp? Does the imp know what this means? What does this mean?
The pain continues to grow and increase, spreading not only just up your arm, but over your chest and through your whole body. It feels as though lava is being pumped into your veins.
I'm just gonna fall down and cuddle Penny and start whimpering really loudly.
What's wrong?
It hurts really bad.
What does?
As Holly shows the stump where her hand used to be, you watch as bones are starting to erupt from the from the wound, and you watch as muscle is starting to pull and stretch over the knuckle bones and the fingers. You watch as meat and blood vessels start to form over the top of that. Then one dermal layer, two dermal layer, 3, 4, 5. As you watch as her hand is slowly being reconstructed.
Oh, that is nasty.
Can
All right. Well, I guess I don't need to make you a prosthesis anymore.
Agnes? Can I just thematically? Can I sacrifice a hero point so that Agnes can try and connect, like, herself with Holly and like take some of her pain, like share it? If you know what I mean? Since she's psychic, kind of thing.
Look, I'm not going to take a hero point for that. I feel like that's kind of
Okay.
like it's like a hero, use a hero point to gain a hero point kind of thing. So no, you absolutely do. You use your psychic powers and connect, and you can feel Holly's pain and anguish. It's mostly because it's a slow regrowth process. And it takes about 10 minutes of just this solid pain. But Holly, having Agnes share that with you makes it a lot more bearable, which actually is going to negate the thing I was going to do, but that's perfectly fine. Now, Holly, as your hand has been restored, there is a couple of unusual things. Firstly, it is a hand. It works and functions, but it is not your hand. You notice that there is a slight discoloration, as if the hand belonged to someone else. And you also notice that there is a tattoo, like kind of almost like a branding of the symbol of Asmodeus on the back of your palm.
And that's different than the other brand that I had from the devil stuff.
Correct, because you had the brand of the infernal summoning circle. This is just, Asmodeus was here, kind of thing.
I think I got my hand back. Thank you, Agnes. I know that was you that saved me because that hurt really bad. Holly's gonna go hug Agnes.
I know, dear. She was like down holding your hand anyway, really.
Aw.
Anyway.
Yeah, you have a little hug as you were then approached. Sorry, we are moving a little bit quick, but hey, why not? As you approached, you can see that there is this small boy. Hello. Are you Patrick, Quinn, Agnes, Dante, and Holly?
That's us.
Message from Her Majesty to all of you. He unfurls a note and begins to read it out. You are hereby summoned to the castle of Korvosa to attend a public address by the Queen to her people in light of recent events surrounding the epidemic that gripped the city. You are being commended as heroes who had saved the city, providing it with not only a cure, but an identity to the evil that gripped the nation. You are going to be decorated and receive an award, as well as a symbol of the Queen's gratitude for your protection of the city. It'll be in a couple of hours. How would you like to respond?
I mean, obviously,
is there a dress code?
I didn't ask for a dress code. I think you'll be fine as is. I believe the Queen is going to be there with the nobles in formal attire, if you wish to. I suppose.
Oh, I certainly can't meet the Queen looking like this. Oh, goodness me, no. A couple of hours, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, that's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Okay.
Please tell the Queen we would be honored to attend,
very well.
and we will do so without delay, or whatever formal address is best for these things. I'm sure I know.
Yeah, you do.
Hello, we're honored. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye. And then he runs off. This kid is super nerve-wracked. But guess what? You guys are gonna get your moment of glory! Yay!
Huzzah!
Because they're gonna publicly acknowledge you.
It's totally not gonna get twisted later.
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Agnes then
No,
turns
not at
around to
all.
the rest of the group with a straight face and just goes, "Well, it'll be interesting to see who they're going to pin this on."
Yeah. Well, obviously we can't refuse the summons directly from the Queen. No. Oh, better break out the good suit. I think I still got one somewhere.
I hate Mondays.
Yeah, no, they really suck. I mean, I thought today was just going to be an easy day.
Yeah, Holly has tons of fancy clothes and will very happily get bathed and dressed.
Muted Doug.
You are on mute.
Thank you. You'll have plenty of time to do so, to go and find some good attire, get dressed, get bathed. Now, are any of you guys going to Zalara's at all?
I'm pretty sure my clothes are at Zalara's.
Yeah, that's where all my stuff is.
Okay. As you go to Zalara's, you make your way into the building. There is an urge for whoever currently holds her deck to perform a harrow reading. It's not a command, it's just more of a... You feel as though she is trying to reach out.
Do I still have the deck?
Whoever's got it on their character sheet, they will have it.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yep, I have it. It's on my sheet.
I have the deck of many things on me. It's just sitting in the bag of holding.
Fair enough.
My own harrow deck.
Ollie's going to go ahead and do the harrow reading.
All right. As you do so, the mystical figure of Zalara begins to rise up again. She looks at you and smiles, greeting you warmly. It has been some time. It is good to see you all again.
Hi, Zalara.
Good to see you too.
As a ghostly visage looks over you, for those of you who don't know who this is the fortune teller whose spirit they put to rest at the very, very start. She says, the city could have been lost to us had it not been for your actions. You have done truly marvelous work, but the danger is not yet over. I sense evil still growing and still mounting. Even amongst the cheers and celebrations, something is surely coming. You will need everything at your behest in order to overcome this new evil. I fear for what it might mean if you should fail in your task. I apologize. I don't mean to speak doom and gloom only. It is hard to describe the sensations. But I notice there is one of you that may perhaps understand. She reaches over to Agnes and asks to take your hand.
Oh, she will, because I've seen on her character sheet. Like, Agnes and Zalara were kind of friends. Agnes looked up to her a little bit, like in the trade.
She looks you over and says, "It is good to see you. I must ask your help once
You
more,
too.
friend."
Anything.
She reaches out and touches your hand, and as you do, you are filled with a sense of rage and anger. A roaring kind of fury builds up inside of you, and it seems to come from the land itself. The very earth itself seems to be quaking and disgruntled. It brings you to your knees. It's like it's literally almost as if the feelings that well up inside you will burn the whole house down. For the rest of you, you see that stuff in this house begins to levitate, begins to swirl and rotate around, smashing against the walls and stuff like that. Nothing, huge or anything like that. Nothing dangerous to you guys, but you can definitely sense that unrest that now comes from their connection before she removes her hand.
Agnes just kind of on her hands and knees, just breathing in heavily. Oh. Oh, well.
You can
That was a wee bit intense.
Yes. As you can see, it's concerning to say the least.
Right.
But hopefully my blessing will at least help you against what is to come. And maybe you can find out more on your journeys. All right, we are going to do a harrowing. So, I've got my harrow cards here. I'm going to give them a quick shuffle. I'm going to put them down in order from 1 to 9, and I need everyone to pick me a number between 1 to 9 to decide which of the harrow cards you end up drawing. Let's start with Padrig.
I'm gonna go for 3.
3 for Padrig. Done. Holly.
Let's go with 1.
Okay. Quinn.
May I have 6, please?
You may. All right. Dante.
9.
All right. And Agnes.
No, you can't have that one.
5.
5. All right. There we go. All right. So, let us read these out. Now, first of all, is Padrig. You have drawn the foreign trader. Now, the foreign trader represents an informative pact. What's your alignment? Good question. Patrick? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, no, I forgot that the push talk doesn't work if I'm not on the screen. Chaotic good.
Chaotic good? Okay, so this is misaligned, meaning... Oh, it's never misaligned. Okay. So, the name Laori Vaus is important to you.
Laori Vaus.
Yep, Laori Vaus. Laori. So Laori Vaus is going to be important for you. All right, that is the foreign trader. Holly, you have the Wanderer. The Wanderer. What is your alignment?
That's a good question, because I was chaotic good, but I know that my alignment shifted when I went over to the temple of Asmodeus.
So you probably just flip down to neutral then. Yeah, you'd likely be neutral at this point. Where is it? Where is it? The Wanderer. Oh, there he is. Okay, the Wanderer. All right, this is partially aligned. Finding worth in cast-offs. The Wanderer embodies a duality of home and body, just as Savit the Traveler travels from hell and themselves both in... Yeah, so basically this is a symbol of someone who travels from hell and back, making use of what they can in dire circumstances. So that is your one. Then we've got a snake bite for Quinn, which Quinn is not here presently, but that is okay. We will read it out and then reread it too. Oh no, Quinn's there.
I'm here.
Hello, I see you. All right. So Quinn, your one is called snake bite. What's your alignment?
Got it. Good.
Okay, this is partially aligned. Poisonous powers or ideas. The envenomed symbols of the snake bite, portrayed by Red Mantis assassins. So this is a symbol of the Red Mantis assassins. All right.
Okay.
The joke is the next one, and this comes to Dante. The joke. What's your alignment?
Neutral good.
Okay, partially aligned. Danger overcome by artifice. Though you style yourself as an emperor, in truth, you enjoy the joke, an embodiment of a sham or people who take things too far. So what this means in part is that, likely it'll be a case of there'll be a dangerous situation, and the ruse or the lie will go too far for you to fall back on. And lastly, Laura, you ready for this? You're going to love this one. What's your alignment?
Neutral good.
Partially aligned. The idiot. Grave foolishness and greed. Not so much a game, but a cruel blood sport. A perfect manifestation of foolishness. A violent pastime that has been created. So basically what this means here is that that someone or something will exploit the foolishness of the actions to come in the future. And that could lead down dangerous roads. These aren't set in stone. These are cautionary warnings to help. But all of you now get the bonus, these following bonuses, which will give you a +2 bonus on intelligence checks and treat your caster level as 1 level higher for intelligence-based casting. The foreign trader, you get bonuses with Leori Vaus. The Wanderer is going to help you with somebody named Sivit, if you want to write that down, Sivit. The Snakebite is going to help you with the Red Mantis assassins. The Joke is going to help you with somebody named Pilts Swastel, Pilts. And the Idiot is going to help you in a game called Blood Pig. Important for later. All right. So there you go. Yeah, shit. That's the whole thing.
So what was the +2 bonus on intelligence checks?
And +1 to your
Is
caster
that-
level.
Is that for everyone or?
That's for everyone, but once you use it, then it's used. So you get to use it at any time. All right. There you go. So that is the harrowing that you have now done. Zilara urges you to be cautious and to use the blessings of the harrow and try your best to basically just be wary. It seems like there's a lot of people out to exploit you and trick you, and she wants you to be safe.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
All right, there you go. I posted those.
Much appreciated.
Okay. You spend the rest of the time preparing for the banquet, getting dressed, getting bathed. You actually do have some pretty nice clothes. And the time eventually comes, the sound sounded by a large bell. As you are greeted by a procession leading you into the opulent castle. Musicians cheer and people pat you on the back, celebrating the heroes that managed to rid the city of the plague. Oh, well done, well done. Yes, no. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you've saved my children. You know, people are in the streets kind of like cheering at you. Holly, you walk past and you can see that the kids from the orphanage are there as well. You know, there is a procession that's coming through. You can see that there are a few other people passing by as well. Some of the different noble houses have representatives that are walking, you know, either in front or behind you through this procession as well. You can see in particular Cressida's there as well, like dressed in her full royal regalia as she does so. She's accompanied by a familiar individual. You recognize. Do you recognize Marcus Endrin? Do you remember when the city was in turmoil and there was that drunk guard?
Yep.
Yeah, we sent him to sober up, right?
Yes, correct. Yep, he is now looking like this.
Oh.
Yep.
Looks a lot better.
He does.
Well done, Marcus. Well done.
He was also, you also recall he was one of Vencalo Osiriani's apprentices. And you can see that he's now kind of like, again, sobered up and looks a lot better. And he's walking with, Cressida. Now, the other thing you notice...
Just...
Oh, yeah, sorry, go on.
Quick point of order. Since this is a, you know, royal summons, is this... I'm assuming that we're not supposed to be armed at this, carting weaponry with us?
No, you're welcome to be armed and stuff like that. That's not not an issue at all.
Okay, I was going to say, I've got concealable dueling pistol that I would have concealed, but if I can come with my gun, I'm going to come with my gun.
Oh, you can come with your gun for sure. Now, Patrick, you noticed something in particular. You didn't realize this before. Marcus Endrin, you knew as a child. The two of you grew up in the same kind of like circles and the like. The Endrin family was one of the ones that was almost wiped out by the murderer that you know that's in prison.
All right, So Patrick doesn't really like to delve back into his past life, so I'll see if he recognizes me.
Very well. He does not.
All right. I will keep it that way.
Sure. All right. The procession continues. And slowly but surely, again, you can see that people are already whispering, like, hey, we're there's people missing, what's going on? And then some people talking. It's like, yeah, no, I heard that during the epidemic, a large number of the families were killed and things. So lots of rumors and whispering happening from the side. Dante, as you are walking through and making their way, you can actually see that there is a guard with bandages wrapped around his neck. He's also got crutches. As he looks in your general direction, he kind of like gives you a nod, like he's like grateful for you to for your help last night.
He'll give them nod back.
Agnes, did you tell your daughter about the award?
Oh yeah, she would have just like gone to Zara's to like with them before going on to her house because I don't think they were that far
Sure.
away from each other. And then she would have gone straight home, yes, to her daughter Justina and been like, right, we need to be presentable.
Yeah, your daughter's there
flap.
as well, and and sort of starts whistling out at you and sort of waves, like trying to get your attention. As you
she waves, Agnes obviously waves back.
As you wave back and you kind of see her, you actually notice that she's there with someone. It's Dan Bailey, who's like standing behind both Thomas and your daughter. Invited by Thomas because the old he's basically like a mentor to Thomas. And kind of looks over to you and just kind of like has this huge grin as he waves back.
I guess I'll smile and try not to blush.
Make a will save. No. No. All right. As you continue onwards, you can see that one of the little children from the orphanage kind of break free and head over to where Holly is, running across the way. You could see that almost reactively, some of the royal guards look like they're about to like leap on the child, but very quickly seem not to, as they realize, oh, it's a child, because they it could have been a halfling assassin, you don't know. Holly, what do you do as the child runs up to you?
Holly is going to immediately hug him. She would want to pick him up, but she's probably too small at this point.
That's very true. There is a reciprocal hug, and then they tell you about like all the things they saw on the way, and like all the things that are happening, and how cool things are, and how cool you are, and like you're like the coolest person I know, and that like, are you gonna see the queen? If you are, can you tell her I said hi? And like they're basically, it's almost like watching Holly talking to a mini Holly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to agree and be very excited with everything that he says.
Eventually, however, Cressida will sort of clear her throat and keep walking, because you're when you stop, the procession stops with you. But the child goes back to their seat, and the nun kind of goes up, and not the nun, the thingy thing. By the way, I want to send some extra love over. Can we get like some like dag hearts in chat? Let's try and chase off the bugbears that are currently plaguing our friend Quinn. So yes, summon forth the anti-bugbear energies. Okay. The procession continues, and you make your way further, which we are actually at Quinn. Well, I'm going to say it anyway, and then Quinn can enjoy it in the VOD, maybe. Actually, if someone could clip this bit, that'd be amazing. That'd save me a lot of time. I love your faces. Okay, so as Quinn makes their way forward, it's not a group of civilians that greet her and cheer for her, but a bunch of surly ne'er-do-wells, like a bunch of like really rough and kind of like very, very like kind of like south side of the river kind of vibe to them, as there's just this hooting and hollering from all of the people at Ill's End and the underdogs. You can see them kind of like looking in Quinn's direction, as well as Odd Bandicoot, who just seems to be just waving and just sort of saying like, I know her, as they're sort of patting each other on the back and sort of cheering for Quinn. It's literally almost like compared to everyone else, which is like, oh my god, celebrities, sure. These guys look like they're at a sporting event. You're fairly sure that if you'd given them time, they would be like 5 of them lined up with QUINN written on their guts as they like just sort of raise their hands to the air.
Quinn's got soccer hooligans.
Yeah, Quinn's got soccer hooligans.
Excellent.
Yep. So yes, what's your return to the soccer hooligans?
I'll just kind of like turn, give them a little princess wave and a big broad wink.
They'll all laugh. One of them will like pretend to faint and stuff. They're enjoying all this. All right. I think that's everyone. We had yes, good. All right. You begin to make your way into the actual castle proper. As you do so, you can see that the entire palace has been decorated quite lavishly to receive honored guests. As you enter, red raiments with the symbol of the crown line this entire feasting hall with tables that have like just kind of finger foods around. You can see that there are guards of the Grey Maidens lining every single corner of this room. You don't recognize any of them because they, of course, have the large Grey Maiden helmet concealing their identities. But as the tension in the air starts to kind of pick up, because people are like, well, how long is the queen gonna be? We have other stuff to do today. You are approached by an individual who appears to be a handsome and well-off noble. A handsome Varundian man with shoulder-length black hair and a trimmed goatee and mustache. As he looks at you, he says, I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I am Bahor. And he gestures to you. Now, Varundi, by the way, are very kind of like brown-skinned, very, very lean individuals. Like kind of, like Southeast Asian kind of Indian kind of, appearance. And he seems to be dressed in very, very pretty screens. Pretty greens and blues and golds.
That name mean anything?
Yes. He is a member of the House Arcona. They are one of the most notable merchant house. One of the ones that went, through the whole thing unscathed. I hear that it is you that we have to thank for the swift return to order by from the populace. You have my family's greatest thanks. And he sort of bows deeply to you.
Agnes will give a little half curtsy.
Well, do polite return. Bow as well. We were only doing what anyone of good conscience would have done.
Of course. It is much harder to find those of good conscience these days, with so much evil that seems to lurk in the shadows, sometimes even in the most obvious of places.
Can I make a insight check or perception check, whatever that's called?
You may make a perception
on that. All right. Hang on.
Oh, sorry, his name is not Bahur. It is Glorio. Glorio Arcona.
Nat 20.
Nice. With a nat 20.
33 total.
With a nat 20, you can tell that this individual has played the political game. And he does tend to have these words that do seem to seep with, kind of that double speak type thing. But nothing that you could turn around and say, this dude is evil. But it's like, this dude is like trying to get in with us, maybe trying to like curry favor with us. He wants something, clearly.
Okay. Yeah. And did I pick up on who those words might have been pointed at, or is just kind of a general blanket? oh, everyone's shady but me. You should,
That one, yeah.
hang
Definitely
out
an
with it. Yeah, okay.
everyone's shady, but like pick your friends wisely.
Got it. Let's say yes, it is definitely a time that is it's good to know who your friends are, isn't it?
Indeed, it is. And hopefully, new friends will be able to wash away doubt that one might build from less than scrupulous encounters.
Hopefully. It's certainly been a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, I hope we may see each other soon. And with that, he goes back to mingling with individuals.
I'll just kind of clue in my my companions as to that is someone who definitely wants something from us. We'll have to keep an eye on him and see whether it's to our benefit or to our detriment.
All right.
Well, after we're paraded in front of the city, I think there's probably going to be many people that will want things from us.
There are definitely going to be many people who want things from us, but this guy in particular, we know his family came out of this mostly unscathed. I know of, I do know of them, and what their priorities are, and let's just be wary. I don't want to wind up being a tool of anyone or anything that is unsavory.
Well, if they came through this mostly unscathed, I'd say survival is probably on top of their list. So yes, let's be wary.
Yeah. Well, survival's on the top of the list for all of the great houses, and the minor houses, and getting whatever they can out of everyone else. I mean, they're all at the core out for themselves and their family and their house. But it is interesting that your survival instinct is not necessarily going to help you when Red Mantis assassins are sent. So, we have to be slightly suspicious as to why they weren't targeted. Anyway.
Yes. Make a celebrations. Where's the drinks?
Exactly my thought, Agnes.
All right. There are drinks that come out and are given to you along with like a bunch of like finger foods and the like. As they do step out, however, you do find yourself with a mix of individuals who seem to be growing more and more impatient until emerging from behind the large stairwell that resides in the center of this this particular portion of the Grand Hall is the Queen, dressed in a bright red gown with a fanged kind of crown kind of sitting on her head. And as she walks in, she says, "Great people of the Korvosan royalty, noble friends and allies of this city, we together have managed to stave off and defeat this plague which has been gripping our city. Through no small thanks to some of the guests here She gestures in your direction. There's a soft round of applause that goes out. Unfortunately, the plague has come at a great cost. The doctor who had been flown in, one of our personal physicians, Dr. Devalius, has lost their life in the pursuit of the cure for this disease. His body has already been shipped back to Cheliax for burial in his family tomb. And with the plague now gone, the Queen's physicians have been disbanded. So the orders that were in place for dealing with the plague shall now be rescinded. The Queen's physicians no longer have claim over your lives, and with hopes that they never will again. As she continues to talk, she moves towards the group in the center of the room, away from the Grey Maidens that seem to be lining the edges of this edges of the room. Unfortunately, Korvosa remains wounded. It seems as though the Hell Knights from the Order of the Nail have shown their true colors, fleeing like cowards to Citadel Vraid at the worst times during this spread. And both the Korvosan Guards and the Sable Company Marines have suffered terrible loss time after time over these past weeks. And neither of these groups are fully capable of continuing as protectors to Korvosa any further. It is with this that I would choose to shore up the fault within this city's defenses with my own personal guards. The Grey Maidens now serve as the official protectors of Korvosa and its surrounding kingdoms. And I now appoint my own second-hand Sabina Merrin as the city's new general to serve this kingdom honorably in the days to come. You hear a ripple of concern sort of spread throughout. You see Sabina Merrin. Nope, that's not that one. There you go. Yes, you see Sabina Merrin come out with her Grey Maiden armor on. I don't have a good picture of her, but you know, it's there. And she stands taking a knee before the Queen. The Queen takes up a long sword that she has by her side, places it. Oh wait, here we go. I do have it. I do have an image. There it is. All right. Taking the sword, she lays it down on her shoulder, and knights her as a general. She then turns her attention to the Sable Company Marine. With food now becoming a scarcity in the city, and the feeding of the company's hippogriffs have placed too much of a strain on the city coffers, the company's relative incompetence for dealing with the latest field of unrest, I have no choice but to ask that Seneschal Neolandus Kalinopoulos step down from their role. Though I feel as though this is not something that needed to be said. But during the catastrophe that has recently happened, he has fled the city instead of staying by our city's side at their time of need. But I do not wish for dishonor to fall upon his house. So instead, He has been discharged from his duties. And his house and what remains shall be used in its holdings to support the remainder of the to deal with the remainder of the Sable Company Marines and their families. I now ask Commandant Endrin to step forward and surrender the badge of office from the Sable Company Marines in place of Neolandus. Endrin steps forward, trembling as he does so. This is your friend Padrig. As he does so, he reaches for the badge. But instead of handing it over, he throws it at the queen, striking her in the cheek. There's a huge gasp. Everyone, including the queen, is shocked into paralysis for a few moments. Long enough for Marcus to yell out, "Your shameful reign ends now! Korvosa will be free again!" And an instant later, he reaches for a bow, aims at the still frozen queen, and fires. His aim true, the arrow striking Queen Iliosa right in the temple and digging deep into her skull. He breathes a sigh. He has done what needs to be done. But the queen does not fall. With incredible speed, she regains her composure and yanks the arrow from her skull. Before the blood on the wound had time to run all the way down to her jaw, she now stands beside Endrin. The free hound whips out and seizes him by the throat, lifting him off the ground, lifting him up for all to see. And an instant later, you see her taking the arrow that she was struck with and plunging it into him. He moves, struggling for a few moments as she dives the arrow deeper before finally going still. As Endrin's body crumples to the ground, Iliosa imperiously shakes his blood from her hands. She cries out in a strong and clear voice, This shall be the fate of all enemies of Korvosa. Mark well this punishment, for it is only the first." A moment later, an individual steps forward, taking Queen Iliosa's hand. This is a spellcaster. You would know this as the wizard Togmagor, one of the cities, or one of the castles, Arcanist.
One of the.
Yeah, why am I hearing myself twice? Go. Okay, cool. Boom, there it is. Okay, so Togmagor takes hold of the Queen Iliosa's hand and teleports the both of them away. There's a resulting riotous calamity. People are just yelling, confused, scared, but it is quickly ended by the Grey Maidens. Some individuals stand back and fight, raising up their weapons for the death of their commander. And you see that the Grey Maidens brutally strike down any who resist. You can see Field Marshal Croft is kind of like looking concerned, looking for a way out, stunned and horrified at what she's witnessed, and knowing things are taking a turn for the worse. With Ender now dead, the Sable Company Marines have truly no leader. Alright, as for you guys, what do you do as this unfolds?
I mean, I think we've been watching in shocked horror. At least I have.
Can I move to flank Cressida and take a protective stance towards her?
You do so.
I'm also going to move over to Cressida.
All right, you do so. As she
I
sees
think
you,
we'll all go over there.
Yeah. Dante, you as well?
Yep.
All right, and Agnes.
Yes, like her daughter wasn't in this particular room, was she?
No. They were all outside with the.
Okay,
the parade.
okay,
Yeah.
Then she will. Yeah.
Cressida looks around and says, "We must leave. We have to get out of here as quick as we
Yeah.
can."
I think that is the course that is wisest.
Keep Cressida in the middle.
All right.
Yep.
You do keep Cressida in the middle, and you leave. Again, there's no hindrance to you actually leaving and stuff, but you do see that the brutality continues. The guards are quick. The Sable Company Marines are quickly being overwhelmed. As you step out, Cressida takes a moment, and she only whispers that Marcus was a good man. He didn't deserve that.
No, he did not.
And
And
go on.
what did we just witness? She had an arrow in her head.
Through the skull.
Through the skull. Yeah. That's a little hard to shake off.
And especially considering it was through the temple.
And the strength to lift a man Marcus's size.
Cressida has no answers, only scores of questions still to be added. She invites you to go and speak with her once more, back at the at Castle Volshnik. But now, however, that is where we will end today's game, as we begin to prepare for our first foray into the adventure of this book. But that's how this book opens, by the way, just FYI for folks.
Jesus.
Shocking.
And I'm actually really glad because the plot twist for today, the Moment of Glory one, you're not always actually guaranteed to be able to like go in and witness all that happening. So that's stuff that you would actually have to find out secondhand later on. So I'm really glad that you guys were actually there to see everything happen, because I think this is a really cool moment. So so freaking amazing. Thank you everyone for coming and joining us today. Thank you to my lovely players. Thank you to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Fantasy Grounds, and Sirenscape / Epidemic Sound. Yeah, thank you to you guys in the audience for coming and hanging out with us today. It really does mean so much for you guys to come and just be a part of all of this cool stuff. We will be back. No, we won't be back. Oh my god, we are taking a 2-week break. That's what's happening, because I'm going to be in Utah. That's where I'm going to be. Now I say that it's going to be a break. What I mean to say is that I will be producing a bunch of different content while I'm over there. I'm going to try to get on Twitch here and there. I haven't done like a Twitch live on my phone before, because it'll all be done through my phone. So I'm going to try and do a couple of Twitch shows maybe around the same times, if I can figure out when that is. And
you should let us do a channel takeover. We'll do a channel takeover.
Look, it'll just be everyone wearing the stupid red shirt, and I know it.
I'll just be pretending to be.
That's true. Look, if ever I trusted anyone, it would be you guys. But nonetheless, guys, I'm going to take some time. I'm gonna just be like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go do this thing. So what I'm gonna do is I will be producing a lot of my content, and I say a lot of my content over on my Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, consider checking it out, because there will be a lot of the behind the scenes stuff from Evermore that I will be publishing there. So it'll be things like if I'm sitting down and I'm having a chat with someone, I might just whip up Instagram live and then just do something there. Same thing with if I do a Twitch stream, it'll likely be kind of like a before and after, or hey, let's do a walkthrough of something. Do you know what I mean? So Twitch and Instagram are going to be my two main platforms for while I'm over in Utah. So just make sure that you know that as we go through. Thank you, Odd Bandicoot. I will indeed have safe travels. And like I said, I'm going to make sure that everyone is gonna feel like they're a part of the experience, because I really want you all to be there. I know that that's not, feasible for everyone, but like know that I love my streams, I love my audience, I love my players, and I will miss them terribly. I don't like the idea of like 2 weeks away. Like, I do what I love because I love doing it. To not do it makes me like, I wanna go back and do working. Anyway, I digress. That's just me and my little there, right there. That's how it is. All right, I'm done. We're gonna go and raid our friends over at Dork Tales. Why? Because one, Dork Tales is an amazing group of content creators. And two, because I'm gonna be over there in like 10-15 minutes, talking about how to prep modules. So, if you want to know a little bit about that, hey, consider that a thing. Oh, thank you. I will.
So what you're saying, Dag, is you're rating yourself.
I am rating myself. I don't want anybody else. When I don't have friends, then I'll raid myself. No, okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna go right into my next show. Guys.
Well done.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. We'll be back on Wednesday for the last stream of our regular lineup before our break for Utah. So join us then, and we'll hopefully see you there. Also, Careful Cantrip. We're over Careful Cantrip starting up their new second half of this second season this week as well. So if you are a fan of the Careful Cantrip campaign, be sure to go and check that out and join us this week as we get into our new game. So yeah, yay! That song probably violates Twitch TOS, probably. But you know what? I'm a rebel. It's what I do. That's right. I grew up in a country filled with convicts. I don't care about TOS and IRT and, I don't know, OGLs. I don't know, whatever. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go live we're gonna go with these guys in now. Boop. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.